I want to tell you a story. This is a story about a man who lost control of his mind for a single moment and paid for it with everything. He was trained, disciplined, respected. From the outside, he looked prepared for anything. But inside his head there was noise. Fear disguised as caution. Thought disguised as intelligence. Hesitation disguised as patience. And by the time he understood the difference, it was already too late. This is not a story about swords. It is a story about the cost of a noisy mind and the power that appears when a man finally learns to be still. Listen carefully. The man before the fall. The man was a samurai named Takemori. He lived by rules, structure, discipline. He rose before the sun, trained until his muscles burned, repeated the same movements until they became instinct. Others admired him. They called him focused, controlled, reliable, but discipline in the body does not guarantee discipline in the mind. Takemori thought constantly. He analyzed every decision, replayed every mistake, prepared for every possible outcome. He believed thinking ahead made him strong. What he didn't know was this: a mind that never rests becomes slow under pressure. The night everything changed. The night did not begin with chaos. That is important. It began quietly. Takemori returned to the village late that evening. Snow had started to fall, soft, slow, almost peaceful. Homes glowed faintly with candlelight. Children laughed somewhere in the distance. Life was ordinary, and that is why the memory stayed with him. Because nothing warns you before everything is taken. Takemori noticed the silence first. Not total silence, but the wrong kind. No dogs barking, no late conversations, no movement in the alleys. His instincts stirred. He slowed his steps, and this is where the story truly begins. Takemori stopped, not to hide, not to draw his sword. He stopped to think. He scanned the shadows, measured the distance between houses, considered possible threats. He told himself this was discipline. In truth, it was delay, because while he calculated, the fire had already started elsewhere. He smelled smoke before he saw flames, a sharp, bitter scent carried by the wind. When he turned the corner, he saw it: a roof burning, a figure running, another falling. His body reacted, but his mind interrupted. How many are they? From where are they coming from? Should I go left or right? And that internal questioning created distance. Distance between instinct and action. That distance cost him everything. Takemori reached his home. The door was open. Inside, panic. His wife was already injured. His child crying uncontrollably. He lifted them both, heart racing. This was the moment. The moment his training was supposed to carry him. But his mind was louder than his training. Should I fight them here? Should I escape now? Can I protect both? What if I fail? He searched for the perfect decision. But life does not wait for perfection. It was not long, less than a second. But hesitation does not need time. It only needs presence. In that pause, everything moved except him. A shadow crossed the doorway. Steel flashed. His wife was struck. Her body went limp in his arms. The sound she made was not loud. That was the worst part. Takemori did not scream. He did not collapse. He stood there, holding weight that was no longer alive. His child's cries pulled him back into the moment. But the moment was already broken. The fire spread. The attackers moved on. The night continued. Takemori survived. That fact haunted him more than death would have. What haunted him most? It was not the enemy's face. It was not the weapon. It was the pause. That fraction of time where his mind chose safety over instinct. He replayed it endlessly. If he had moved without thinking, if he had acted without calculating, if he had trusted his body, would it have been different? That question never left him. That night did not just take someone from him. It rewired him. From that moment on, he no longer trusted his instincts. He overthought every action. He tried to control every outcome. He feared hesitation, and yet repeated it. The irony destroyed him. The more he tried to prevent another mistake, the more trapped he became in his own mind. This is why the story matters. Because Takemori was not weak. He was not careless. He was mentally crowded, and a crowded mind cannot respond under pressure. From that night forward, Takemori believed intensity was the answer. But intensity without clarity only creates more damage. And so began the long descent, before the rebuilding could ever start. The silence after loss. Loss does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly. Takemori stopped speaking much after that night. He still trained, still worked, still lived, but his presence faded. At night, his mind replayed the same scene. Not the attack, not the enemy, the pause. That brief moment where thought replaced action. He learned something cruel. Regret is not loud. It is repetitive, and repetition wears a man down. Takemori believed the solution was intensity. More training, more pressure, more force. He hunted threats relentlessly. He fought harder, but anger replaced clarity. And anger, when uncontrolled, is just another form of noise. His strikes became faster, but sloppier. His decisions quicker, but reckless. He was moving more, yet accomplishing less. Because action without awareness is still blindness. One evening, Takemori crossed paths with an older swordsman. No reputation, no visible ambition. They fought briefly. Takemori attacked with urgency. The older man stepped aside, again and again. When it ended, Takemori was on the ground, disarmed. The older man said only this: "You survived the moment that broke you. But your mind never left it." Those words stayed, because they were true. The older swordsman did not teach Takemori how to fight. He taught him how to stop, to stand without moving, to breathe without controlling, to observe thought without obeying it. Takemori struggled. His mind resisted silence, because silence reveals what distraction hides. Day by day, he learned something difficult. Thoughts are not commands. Emotions are not orders. Urgency is not truth. Control was not found in force, but in restraint. Over time, the noise softened. Thoughts still appeared, but they no longer ruled. Takemori moved again, not faster, but cleaner. Not harder, but clearer. For the first time since the fire, his actions matched the moment. No delay, no rush, only presence. Life will test you. Not when you are ready, but when you are distracted. And in that moment, you will either think or act. So the question is not whether you are strong. The question is this: will your mind be quiet enough to move? When the moment comes,